Hello students, this is regarding morphology of flowering plants. In this lecture number 17 we are going to see here. In the previous classes I told you how to draw a floral diagram and what is called a floral formula, everything we have discussed. In today's class, some description of angiosperm families we are going to see here. There are some descriptions related to angiosperm, descriptions of families in the angiosperm we are going to discuss here. What is meant by families and how to describe a family of an angiosperm, everything we are going to see. Remember, biological classification is an important phenomenon in living system, living world actually. There are millions of types of living organisms existing on the earth. We cannot study all of them in our lifetime. So what we do means, we classify those animals and plants into different categories. So those who are having similar characters, they will be grouped together into some hierarchy or into some groups actually. Those groups of classification will be called as taxonomy, it can be called. That grouping of organisms, living organisms, according to their similarities will be called as taxonomy. So in taxonomy what we do means, living things are classified into 5 kingdoms, you may be knowing. 5 kingdoms are there in the living things. You might have heard about it in the lower classes also. Monera, Protista, Mycota, Plantae and Animalia, like that. 5 kingdoms are there. Each kingdom is further divided into divisions, we are telling. They are further divided into divisions. Each division is further divided into classes, otherwise class it can be called. Classes are further differentiated into orders, we can say here. Orders are further divided into families, we can say here. Then they will become the genus and finally it will become a species, we are telling. So group of organisms having similar character, similar sharing of similar characters, they will be grouped into species. Many such species will become a genus, genus will become family, group of families will become order, group of orders will become classes, classes will become division and kingdom, like that. Various groups we can differentiate. Why we should differentiate them into these groups? In order to study all the organisms or to know about all the organisms. Now here in this lesson, in morphology of flowering plants, of course there is a detailed lesson called biological classification, which we will be studying in the later lectures. Now here, with reference to morphology, we are going to study up to family level in the PUC classes. When you go to higher studies, you will be knowing about order, classes and all. In plant kingdom, about families we are going to see. That is what description of angiosperm families we are talking. In animal kingdom, there is a lesson, 4th lesson called animal kingdom. There you will be studying some divisions or phylum also. But here we are going to study about some of the families belonging to angiosperm. There are only 3 families we are going to study according to our syllabus. Thousands of families are there included under hundreds of orders. Orders are grouped into classes, divisions and all. Here we are going to study about only 3 families at PUC first year level. The first family we are going to describe here is about the family Fabaceae, we are telling. It is called as family Fabaceae. Remember one point, the families are ending with suffix called ACA actually. ACA, Fabaceae, Solanaceae, Liliaceae, like that, they are ending with one suffix called ACA. That is called family actually. The first family we are going to study here is known as family Fabaceae. Fabaceae can be otherwise called as, it is also known as Leguminosaceae also. It can also be called as Leguminosaceae also. Legume, root nodule or legume they contain, so they are called Leguminosaceae also. First I will tell you about the kingdom division. It's a taxonomical position. Taxonomy means branch of biology which is involved in biological classification. So the branch of biology involved in identification, nomenclature and classification of living things. That branch taxonomy we are going to study. This family Fabaceae belongs to kingdom Plantae, we can say. It belongs to the kingdom Plantae. Remember, in the kingdom Plantae there are many divisions, namely algae, fungi, bryophyta, pteridophyta, gymnospermae, angiospermae, like that. So here it belongs to the division called angiospermae. That is why I told you about this angiosperm families we are telling. Division angiospermae. It belongs to the class, in the angiosperm there are two major classes. One is called monocotyledons, another one is called dicotyledon. This family Fabaceae belongs to dicotyledonnae, remember, okay? It is belonging to dicotyledonnae, that is the class we can say. To which order it belongs? This family Fabaceae, members of family Fabaceae belongs to the order known as Rosales. Remember this point. They belong to a order called Rosales. Then we come to the family which is known as Fabaceae here. What are the examples for this Fabaceae? We will study later. First I will describe the general characters and everything. Before going in detail about this family Fabaceae, you must remember there is a subfamily also included under this family. This family includes one subfamily also. It is known as, that subfamily is known as Papilionoideae, it can be called Papilionoideae. You have heard about Papilionaceous corolla. When I was telling you about aestivation, we studied there is a descendingly imbricate aestivation, otherwise papilionaceous aestivation, or vexillary aestivation, that comes under this family. The plants which have that aestivation are kept under this group called Papilionoideae and subfamily called Papilionoideae. So this is regarding some biological account, otherwise classification we can give. So this family belongs to Plantae, in that division Angiospermae, class Dicotyledonnae, order Rosales and family Fabaceae. So just to make note of this, we will continue further. Just wait 2 seconds. Okay, students, let us write about general characters of the family Fabaceae here. Okay, Fabaceae. Description of angiosperm families. 3 families we are going to deal in that. The first family I am describing here is about Fabaceae, remember. Related to this Fabaceae, what is the habit of this family we must know. Already I told you how to describe, what are the points to be described in a flower or in a family, I told you. First point is regarding its habit. As far as habit is concerned, some of them are herbs in nature, some of them are shrubs also, and other groups belong to trees, we can say. So all the three varieties of plants could be observed in the Fabaceae, which is also known as what? Leguminosae, it can be called. The family Leguminosae. Why it is called Leguminosae, we will see now. So it has a habit of all these things. What is the habitat of this family means? All of them are terrestrial only. Habitat means what? Living place, we can say, living place. All of them are terrestrial. Very few plants will be belonging to aquatic conditions. So majority of them are terrestrial plants. Few of them could be aquatic in nature also. When we come to the root system, remember next description will be about the root system. These plants, they have taproot system, remember, taproot. You know what, it is belonging to dicot. Dicots will have taproot system. We know about taproot system already. The main stem will be extending down as a primary root. Then there will be secondary, tertiary roots and all will be present. So it is a taproot system. Now we are coming to one important point. In the Fabaceae, these taproots will be having special structures called root nodules in them actually. They will have special structures called root nodules. Remember, this is the main stem and primary root, secondary root, tertiary root will be here. These roots will be having nodule or bag-like structures here. That is called root nodule actually. Inside this root nodule, some bacteria will be surviving or they will be living here. So they are called bacterial root nodule, they can be called. Why bacteria should live in the root of this family means? This bacteria will fix nitrogen from the atmosphere and give it to this plant. So nitrogen fixing bacteria, useful bacteria, helpful bacteria live in this root nodule. That is the speciality of root. Since they have this nodule, these nodules are otherwise called legume, we can say. That is why this plant is otherwise known, this family is otherwise known as Leguminosae. Leguminosae, the plants of Leguminosae will have legume in them. What are legumes? Root nodules, we can say. When we come to the stem of these plants, the stem of this plant, since they are shrub and trees, some of them will be having the woody stem also, and some of them can be climbers also. You may be remembering this word climbers. They will be weak stemmed plant which need a support for growing upwardly. That upward growth is done by climbers. That is the characteristic of stem, we can say. It will have nodes and internode. It will have adventitious root, everything. So some of them are climbers, we can say. When we come to the leaves of this plant, leaves of this family, if you see means, the plants belonging to this family, all of them will have these characters only. That's why we group them into one category. When we come to the leaves of this plant, the leaves are arranged in alternate phyllotaxy. Remember this point. They have alternate phyllotaxy type of arrangement here. You know what is alternate phyllotaxy? In the stem, one node will be having one leaf, another node will be having another leaf. Like this, they are present means it is called alternate phyllotaxy. Venation of this leaf will be in the form of reticulate venation we can see. So they have reticulate venation. What is reticulate venation? Sorry, network-like arrangement of veins will be present here. The veins of this plant, the vein and veinlets, they are arranged in network-like condition. That is called reticulate venation. It can be called. So that is another speciality of these leaves in the family Fabaceae. Other characters when we observe. What about inflorescence of this family? This family, it has got racemose type of inflorescence. Already we know what is called racemose inflorescence. There will be rachis, otherwise what is the peduncle will be present. On both sides of the peduncle, flowers will be arranged. A group of flowers will be known as inflorescence. On both sides, if flowers are arranged, that is called racemose. Racemose inflorescence has got many types, but all the members of this family has got racemose inflorescence only. So if I give you a plant to you and ask you to identify to which family it belongs means, by understanding these characters or by analyzing them, you can say it belongs to Fabaceae. There must be root nodule, there must be racemose inflorescence, reticulate venation, alternate phyllotaxy, like the various points we can be able to discuss. When after inflorescence, we come to the flower of this family. Very important point, by seeing the flower also, we can tell what family it belongs. Now as far as flower is concerned, generally the flower will be pentamerous in nature. What is pentamerous? 5 or multiples of 5 floral whorls will be present. Floral whorls means members of floral whorls. Sepals, petals, stamen, carpel and all, they will be in 5 or multiples of 5, they are present. In the flower, when we come across, what is that? Calyx. The calyx of the flower belonging to Leguminosae has got 5 sepals in them. Remember this terminologies. It will be useful for drawing the floral diagram and the floral formula also. 5 sepals are present. Those sepals are gamosepalous in nature. They are gamosepalous. What is gamosepalous? Sepals are united in the margin. They are united with each other. That is called gamosepalous. If they are free, we will call it as polysepalous. But this family has got gamosepalous condition. What about aestivation? Arrangement of sepal is valvate aestivation, we can see. You know this word valvate aestivation, where the margins of the sepals will be touching each other. That is called valvate aestivation. Let me come to the corolla. Another important character. Why we call them as papilionaceous or papilionoidea, that you can get answer here. Why we called it as Leguminosae? Because it has got a root nodule. Why it is belonging to papilionoidea? Because its corolla is having the papilionaceous aestivation. Here also 5 petals are there. Generally those petals are polypetalous in nature. Polypetalous means what? Petals are not united, petals are free in nature. Very important point is they have got papilionaceous corolla it is. Otherwise descendingly imbricate corolla it has got. You may recall what is called descendingly imbricate aestivation. In these flowers, if you observe, means there will be one large standard petal is present here. Okay, one large standard petal. That petal is called vexillum or standard petal. I told you about it already. On the sides they have got 2 number of wing petals here. They are not united. 2 number of wing petals. At the base, here they will have two number of keel petals actually. These are called keel petals. These are called wing petal. They are called standard petal. In the standard petal only, or in the keel petals are united. They will enclose the stamen and carpel actually. Androecium and gynoecium are protected within the keel petal. This type of special arrangement is called descendingly imbricate or otherwise papilionaceous corolla. Papilio refers to butterfly. It will appear, this flower will appear as if it is an insect like, butterfly like corolla it can be called. When we come to androecium, you know that androecium is a male reproductive part. So androecium, it has got 10 stamens. Multiples of 5, I can say 10 stamens are present here. Those stamens are arranged in diadelphous condition. Remember this word diadelphous. Di means two. Adelphous means group. So in two groups they are arranged. 9 stamens are one group. One stamen will become another group. That is called diadelphous condition. These anthers of the stamen will be dithecous in nature. Remember, dithecous means two chambers are present here in the anther. That is called dithecous. So that is regarding androecium. See how we are describing a family in this case. Its habitat, root, stem, leaves, inflorescence, flower, then calyx, corolla and androecium. We must tell about gynoecium also. I will tell about it just 2 seconds. Make note. We'll start. Okay, students, you might have written or have understood this. Listen. There is some point related to gynoecium I have to tell you. As far as gynoecium is concerned, it has got carpels we have seen. These carpels, usually monocarpellary gynoecium they are. That means only one carpel is present here, monocarpellary. But many ovules will be present inside. Ovules will be many in number. What type of placentation is there in this ovule means the ovules are attached with ovary by marginal placentation. Remember this point. So single ovary with marginal placentation is present in this case. We will draw the diagram, marginal placentation later. That is regarding gynoecium. The flower or in this gynoecium has got superior ovary we can see. Or otherwise the flower is hypogynous flower. You may remember superior ovary means the ovary will be at the top and other floral parts are present below it. Dome shaped thalamus will be present, we have seen. That is called superior ovary gynoecium. Now remember students, by seeing all these things we can write the floral formula for this Fabaceae and we can draw the diagram, floral diagram also. Floral formula for the Fabaceae, if we write, it is an zygomorphic flower, you have to remember. Because this is papilionaceous corolla, it can be divided only in one vertical plane, not in many planes. So zygomorphic. It has got it is bisexual in nature. Both androecium and gynoecium are there, so it is bisexual in nature. Calyx has to be represented with a symbol called K. I told you. When this K, there are 5 sepals. You may be remembering 5 sepals are there. Those sepals are gamosepalous. What is gamosepalous? United. When sepals are united, we have to put a bracket around that 5 actually. Corolla can be represented with a symbol called C actually. In corolla also there are 5 petals present. But these 5 petals are arranged in 1 plus 2 plus 2 manner. Is it or not? 1 is a standard petal, 2 are wing petals and 2 are keel petals. So corolla will be in the form of 1 plus 2 we can say. That last two keel petals will be united. So I am putting a bracket around this 2 only, not for this 2 and this one. So that is corolla, it can be called. When we come to the androecium, how many stamens are there? 10 stamens are there. Among them 9 plus 1 arrangement. 9 are united into one group, 1 will be separate, diadelphous condition. Surrounding that, for that 9, I am putting a bracket here. Gynoecium, if we see, means there is only one carpel, it is superior ovary. So I draw a line here, and below the G, we draw a line means superior ovary. Do you get the formula, floral formula? It is a zygomorphic, bisexual, pentasepalous or gamosepalous, 5 sepals, 5 petals arranged in papilionaceae, and androecium contain 9 plus 1 arrangement of stamen. 9 stamen in one bundle, 1 stamen separately. Gynoecium is superior ovary. Let me come to the floral diagram for this Fabaceae. The next part is regarding the floral diagram. Remember students, in the previous class I told you how to draw a floral diagram. You may recall floral diagram. For floral diagram, we have to take 4 floral whorls here. I am talking about Fabaceae. Outermost whorl is nothing but calyx. You may be recalling. Just an imaginary circle I am putting. In this calyx, how many sepals are there? 5 sepals are there. They are gamosepalous, valvate aestivation. So let me make this outer whorl as 5 parts. 1, 2 here, 3, 4 like this. 5 parts are there. Outer gamosepalous condition, and this is one sepal. This is second sepal. I am drawing the outer whorl. They are all simply touching each other. That is valvate aestivation. And in this valvate aestivation, you can see the margins are simply touching each other. They are gamosepalous, we have seen. Gamosepalous means sepals are united. So we have to put a correction here between them. This indicates they are united sepals here. Do you get this point? That is regarding sepal gamosepalous. What about corolla? Otherwise, corolla means it is made up of papilionaceous corolla. Remember, there is one standard petal, big petal. I will draw like this. This is the standard petal. On the sides they have got wing petals like this. These 2 are the wing petals we can draw here. In the bottom they have got keel petals in this manner. Do you get this point? This is the corolla, papilionaceous corolla. These 2 only are united, remaining 3 are in polypetalous condition. What about androecium? Very important point. 9 plus 1 arrangement is there. So I will write androecium inside. Imagine this is the androecium where 9 stamen, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9 stamens I have drawn. Remaining one stamen should be drawn separately, diathecous. They are not united, they are separated. When we come to the gynoecium, superior ovary, marginal placentation. In the center we will make the gynoecium like this, only one carpel, and ovule is attached in the margin like this. Do you remember pea plant and all these pulse plants, they have marginal placentation only. It is a zygomorphic flower. For a zygomorphic flower, generally we don't put that plus mark here. There is no necessity. You can draw an imaginary line showing like this. This indicates a zygomorphic flower actually. If it is actinomorphic radial symmetry, I should put a line here. When it is zygomorphic, we will draw a arrow mark like this. This is zygomorphic. Gamosepalous, 5 sepals, papilionaceous corolla, diadalpus stamen, marginal placentation, ovule. That is, what is that? Fabaceae. We shall lastly, to complete this family, we shall go for important plants belonging to this family. In our day-to-day life, what are the families what are the plants we use which belong to the Fabaceae? We are going to see. Such a type of important plants will be given in a list. In your notes, we have given a list of plants belonging to this family and how they are useful for our day-to-day life. We have seen. That is regarding economic importance of this family. Economic importance of Fabaceae, I am going to tell you here. Economic, when we come to the economic importance, pulse yielding plants are belonging to this family mainly. Pulse means dal variety. Those dal varieties, they belong to this Fabaceae only. Different varieties of dal we are using. Bengal gram we are telling, kadle bele like that. Udin bele is there, okay, urd dal, and even what is that, tur dal. Like that various, even batani like that, garden pea and so many varieties are there. They all come under this Fabaceae only. Their root will be having a nodule. In that nodule, nitrogen will be more. By using that nitrogen, they will produce more protein. That's why pulses are rich in protein, we are telling. Those protein-rich plants are called pulse plants, and in our daily life, we use them in many ways. The scientific names of these plants are given in your notes, but in your textbook, scientific names are not given. General names are given. Tur dal and Bengal gram or besan like that, various names are given. Even soya bean, you might have heard, they belong to this family only. Groundnut, you might have heard, it belongs to this family only. Groundnut, oil yielding plant we are telling. Fiber yielding plants are there in this family. It is more economically important plant. Fiber means that the fiber which we use for making the bags and the gunny bags like that. Those fibers, hemp fiber, they are called. They belong to this family mainly. Wood yielding, timber yielding plants are belonging to this family. Rosewood you might have heard, and redwood you might have heard, they are all belonging to this family. Tincture you might have heard, indigo, that tincture we put for wound healing and all, that is obtained from this family. Medicinal plants are also belonging to this family. So many plants, some of them are oil yielding, some of them are used as vegetables in our daily life. Their seeds are edible, their fruits are edible, and medicinal plants, oil yielding plants, fiber yielding plants, many are there. Some examples I will give you in this class. Remaining now you can see in your textbook as well as in the notes also. Just listen. With the scientific name, I will write you some points here. Sicer, remember, Some of the pulses I will write here. Sicer, Arientum, it can be called. Sicer, Arientum. This is genus name, this is species name. It is generally called as Bengal gram, it can be called. Bengal gram, it is called. Sicer, Arientum. There is Cajanus, Cajan, it can be called. Cajanus, Cajan. This is another biological name, otherwise another name which denotes the tur dal actually. Dal variety, the tur dal, it is called the Cajanus cajan. Okay, remember it. There is another variety also, Passeolus. Passeolus mungo or Passeolus radiatus, it can be called. They are commonly called as moong dal, we can be called. Okay, moong dal varieties in the same genus, Passeolus mungo, Passeolus radiatus, like that. They are called moong dal varieties. Varieties of dals we can say. Even you can remember about glycine max also. Glycine max is nothing but the soya bean which we use in our daily life. Soya bean, they belong to glycine max. Even oil can also be extracted and it is used as a food also mainly. Glycine max. Even we can remember about this Pisum, very important plant. Pisum sativum, you may be remembering. Pisum sativum is otherwise called as garden pea plant, it can be called. Garden pea, that is called Pisum sativum. These are all various examples, even in our day-to-day life we use them. Let me come to some other plants here. Let me rub this floral diagram. I hope you might have got this one. 5 sepals, 5 petals, 10 stamens and 1 carpel, like that. Okay, marginal placentation, remember. When we come to these other plants of this family, okay, there are timber yielding plant, oil yielding plant also. Remember, this is what is the Pisum sativum. There is another plant also, Lathyrus odoratus, it can be called. Lathyrus odoratus. Biological name. If you want, you can remember it or memorize it. Otherwise, just when you apply for a NEET exam and other competitive exam, these words will be helpful for you. Even in your textbook, only common names are given. Okay? Don't get panic by seeing these new words. Anyhow, Lathyrus odoratus. Sweet pea, it can be called. Sweet pea. Remember, that is Lathyrus odoratus. When we come to oil yielding plant, you must know one important word called arachis. Arachis hypogea, we have to know. Arachis hypogea is nothing but groundnut. Okay, groundnut plant is biologically called Arachis hypogea. Shenga antantivalla, that groundnut, it is Arachis hypogea. From it, oil is extracted. And it can give the cakes like things also, which can be used as fodder for other animals, cattle and cow, sheep and all, they can be fed with this oil cakes also. This is Arachis hypogea, or otherwise groundnut we can say. In addition to that, there are wood yielding, timber yielding plants are also there, you may be remembering. Timber yielding plant, Sesbania we are telling. Okay, Sesbania, Sesson, like that. Dalbergia, okay, this is I think a redwood, Indian redwood, like that, you have to know. Dalbergia, okay. Dalbergia, Sisu, it can be called. Remember, species name must be written with a small letter, it should be started with a small letter. Genus name should be started with a capital letter. Dalbergia Sisu, it is Indian rosewood, you can check it in your notes also, we have given you all these things. Tinctoria plant. Another one you can remember is Tinctoria which will give us indigo dye, it can be called. Indigo dye. Dye yielding plant, it can be called tinctoria, it can be called. There are many types of plants also, even Dalbergia latifolia also. One more species name is latifolia. Like that, various varieties. I gave you some 10 examples. How much is possible, you remember them. Common names are there and other things are there. In textbook also those varieties are given. What is the main point means? Fabaceae include pulses. So the pulses, dal varieties which we use in our daily life, they belong to which family? Fabaceae mainly. So they belong to Fabaceae. Fabaceae is otherwise called Leguminosae, remember. So with this, let me complete this class. In this class, we have described one angiosperm family. It is called Fabaceae or Papilionaceae, it can be called. It is belonging to dicotyledonate of angiosperm. So with this, let me stop here. In the next class, we shall continue with some other families of angiosperm. Totally 3 families are there. With that families, your lesson will be over. Please students, one point I wanted to tell you. This lesson, morphology of flowering plant, they start from the second video itself. In the first video, I gave you introduction about syllabus, first year syllabus, biology syllabus. In the second video, at the half of it, we started about morphology of flowering plants. So those who are preparing for exam and learning or test, you must see it from the second video itself. This lesson starts. From third video, we have given names also. Okay, that in the heading we have given. First video, second video itself, in the half of that video, we start with morphology. Another point I wanted to tell you is, for lecture number 11, by mistake I wrote it as lecture number 10 actually. So there will be 2 lecture number 10. First one you can take it as 10th one, and 11th one is just what I have in the board I wrote is 10, but in the description we gave 11 only. Okay? Then 12th it will be continued. Just make note of these 2 points. Then you remember about economic importance and everything. Let me stop with this. Okay, thank you.